Hey, what's up? It's Joel. So we can all agree that the majority of people want stimulus checks. A poll run by Quinnipiac University found that 78% of Americans support stimulus checks, including 90% of Democrats and 64% of Republicans. So much that there is a petition that has over 3 million signatures calling for $2,000 a month to every American adult and $1,000 to every kid until the pandemic is over. What's the status of stimulus checks? Are we going to get another stimulus check anytime soon in 2022? This is the truth about stimulus checks. Most people thoroughly enjoyed having some extra money from the stimulus checks that were sent out in the past 2 years. Some people bought groceries, some people bought household items, a PS5, and maybe some Robinhood stocks. Now there is plenty of newborn babies that were born in 2022, and they're going to be getting their $1,400 stimulus checks through their parents' IRS refund. But there's still millions of Americans that are looking for a forced stimulus check. And if you want to participate in our $500 giveaway, please check out the rest of this video for more info. First, we have to look at the impacts of stimulus checks and are they even worth doing? Because these checks aren't cheap, especially when you're sending them to millions and millions of people. And then we will look at their cost and then the possibility. According to the Economic Security Project, there's clear evidence that direct payments were the fastest and most impactful investments helping Americans get through the COVID-19 pandemic, lifting more people out of poverty than any other single policy. Researchers from the University of Michigan found that the final two stimulus packages were responsible for a 40% decrease in food insufficiency, a 45% increase in financial instability, a 20% drop in mental health complications like anxiety or depression. Many low-income households benefited the most and enjoyed the biggest reduction in household hardship. But some form of improvement was evident across the entire income scale. And while many people were able to get ahead during the shutdowns and were able to help out their financial situations, there were millions that had other plans for their stimulus checks. Robinhood, probably the easiest stocks trading platform ever invented with zero fees for trading. This groundbreaking app revolutionized the stock market industry and captured the eyes of millions of first-time traders in their 20s and 30s. In this chart, you can see that the highest week-over-week changes in bank account transfers from households receiving the stimulus checks showed that those making between $35,000 and $75,000 showed over a 90% change in bank account transfers to trade stocks. As you can see that the S&P 500 was rising, and with the pandemic it did take a dip, but quickly rose past that and then has exploded with growth ever since. So not only have the stimulus checks helped families get through the day, but has introduced millions of Americans to the industry of investing. As you know, I'm all for investing and having your money work and grow for you. Now, if you want to start investing, check out my link down below in the description for free stocks in Robinhood. But with that, there is a question. Do we need stimulus checks? Now that we are so far past the beginning of this pandemic, and we are also dealing with the highest inflation in almost 40 years, this is a big question to ask. Then you really have to ask yourself, is a stimulus check really worth it? If everything just gets more expensive, then you're really actually worse off because the prices don't go immediately down. After you spend those stimulus checks, you're still gonna be paying high prices for a lot of stuff. Now, government data indicates that consumer prices last month jumped at their fastest pace since 1982. Inflation, defined by the Federal Reserve as increases in the overall prices of goods and services over time, means that Americans are going to have to pay more money than they are used to for their essentials and other expenses. Consumer prices have jumped around 7% in the past year. When you look at your bank account and say you have $1,000, well, that is really like having $930 now. Or say you have $10,000. It's really like having $9,300 now. So your money is worth less for buying the same amount of goods. So these stimulus checks cost a lot, with the past 3 stimulus checks costing a total of $850 billion, almost $1 trillion. They were the $1,200 check, the $600 check, and the $1,400 check. This gave an instant 20% boost to the poorest households. But now going back to the petition of $2,000 a month would undoubtedly cost trillions of dollars in a span of a couple of months. And as much as people would like to let that money printer roll or keep seeing the money spit out towards them from the ATM, there's a couple of obstacles in the way. So in order to get another stimulus check, we have to look at who's offering them: the federal government, or in some cases, the state government. Now, there are plenty of states still offering state stimulus checks, including California, Florida, Georgia, and more. Some of these checks are going to low-income families, some to first responders and educators. Now, each state is offering stimulus checks at their own discretion, but the blanket stimulus checks that have been sent out from the federal government, like the 3 main stimulus checks that we previously mentioned. So there's 2 ways to get more stimulus checks. Number 1, President Biden can actually use executive order to use unused funds from the previous stimulus packages to redirect to Americans as direct stimulus check payments. Number 2, Congress can pass another bill and include stimulus checks or in a larger bill to be sent out to Americans. Now, both have been mentioned and both have been considered, but will we get one soon or in 22? Well, the reason we got the stimulus checks in the first place was to make sure that American families were able to provide for their own during the pandemic that just literally came out of nowhere. Now, the United States had one of the most thriving economies before the pandemic, and it literally took us to a standstill. So the truth about getting another stimulus check is that it's always possible. But with the Democrats controlling all 3 legislative branches and midterms coming up, they need a win on their side with everything that's going on. And a stimulus check may help, but it also may hurt them. For one, many millions of Americans want one, but if it continues to make inflation rise, it's only going to get worse. But what's more of a positive is that there are still hundreds of millions, even into the billions of dollars of unused stimulus package funds that haven't yet been touched. If President Biden wants to win some votes for his party, he may want to relocate some of those funds. It will definitely help low-income Americans, and the bill has already been passed. So the stimulus checks definitely are there for emergency situations, but with us getting past the pandemic, this seems like the potential for stimulus checks is waning, and that we can only see them if something unforeseen was to happen. So let me know your thoughts about stimulus checks in the comment section. Are you for them or against them? And we can talk about it there. So to participate in the giveaway, please comment down below, like this video, and subscribe. Once we hit 60,000 subscribers, you will be included in the drawing for the $500. And again, if you're interested in investing, please check out my links in the description to get you some free stocks and start growing your money using the Robinhood or the Webull platform. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our stimulus and economic news that affects you and learn how to build some wealth. This is Joel with True Life Investing. Until next time,